weeks 1 through 8 during Josh McDaniels' 8-game tenure, the Raiders were putting up 15.75 points per game. They went 3-5, and that would be 30th in the league.
Damn.
Third worst. From offensive guru, with Davante Adams, with Hunter Renfrow, with Jacoby Meyers, with Michael Mayer, with Josh Jacobs, with the best kicker in football, in the AFC at least. Still, third worst. And his own hand-picked $33 million quarterback, right? Weeks 9 through 10, without Josh McDaniels, Bo Hardegree, Aiden O'Connell, 23 points per game. That will put us 14th. That will put us above average in points per game, 2-0. And we're playing the Giants, which is an average to above average defense, like middle of the road, but maybe
they had been playing very well before they played us.
Before us, right? And then this last game, they got trounced, right? But, not a slouchy defense by any means. And then the Jets, one of the best defenses in football.
Yeah.
We're 2-0, and we'd be 14th in points per game. I've narrowed it down to, and normally when that happens, right? When there's a coaching change and a quarterback change, you think, oh, the quarterback made the difference. That's kind of like, oh, you switched quarterbacks. That's what did it. That's the instant reaction to that. Not so. This kind of surprised me. Not shocked me, but surprised me. Jimmy Garoppolo this season, statistically, is better than Favre in basically every single category. His completion percentage, 2 points better than Aiden O'Connell. His average, 7.2 to O'Connell's 6.5. His touchdown to interception ratio is better. His rating, 1.5 points better. And he's taken less sacks per game than Favre. So not crazy better. I'm talking 1 or 2 percentages in each category, but you're thinking, wow, this offense just did a 180 once they switched quarterbacks. It must be because of quarterback play. Not so. Giant misconception. Yeah. And we've narrowed it down, Soto, to 3 primary reasons why this offense turned around. And we haven't discussed order. Maybe we will. Maybe we'll leave that up to you guys in the comment section. But it's basically 3 reasons why this offense has turned around and this offense has been able to fix what Josh McDaniels broke. What do you think is number 1?
Coach Bo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. Coach Bo. Bo. Say what you want to say about Josh McDaniels. Josh McDaniels.
We have.
Yeah.
And we will.
he is a very good offensive coordinator. Case in point, we're still using his system that he implemented, but I think the things that were kind of like
all the harshest critics of Josh McDaniels, I don't think I've heard one person say he doesn't understand X's and O's of football. I don't. All the harshest critics, not one person has said, "Oh, he's such a dumbass. He doesn't know that
he
part
know
of
what he's
football."
doing." No, yeah. So the offense that's there, it's a good offense, right? Mm-hmm. Where Coach Bo comes into play is the human element.
Yeah,
we talked about it a couple weeks ago. What's the disconnect between the conversations between Josh McDaniels and Davante Adams and what we see on the field?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the difference is Coach Bo is not coaching with his ego. I don't know how many times I said it, like every single week. Use more motion. Disguise your plays with personnel groupings and formations and things like that. Everything that Coach Bo is doing is what Josh McDaniels didn't want to do because of his ego.
Mm-hmm.
So it was the ego of Josh McDaniels that tanked this offense. And towards the end, the players got tired of it. They got sick of it. Like, dude, you're not doing these things that we're telling you to do. And it's not working. And you just want to keep doing the same thing over and over again and blame us when we're telling you to do something different.
Mm-hmm.
So the Coach Bo going in there with the same system, but maybe, flashing it up. We didn't see 5 wide with Josh McDaniels. Yeah. We didn't see the motion that we're seeing now with Josh McDaniels. We didn't see the personnel groupings. We didn't see the lineup decisions, right? Mm-hmm. Coach Bo is now going to Josh Jacobs. What runs do you like?
Yeah.
Going to the offensive line, what runs do you guys like to block for? And that's the difference in the team is the play of Josh Jacobs. I was saying it the entire season. Teams are packing the middle against Jimmy Garoppolo. They're packing the middle against Josh Jacobs. It's up to Josh McDaniels to unlock the middle of the field.
It's the double-edged sword, right? If you pack the box, you take away the passes of Jimmy Garoppolo and you take away Josh Jacobs.
Coach Bo has unlocked the middle of the field.
Yeah.
He's done it.
So your number one led to what might be the number one, Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
So Josh Jacobs in weeks 1 through 8, he had 3 touchdowns, getting a pretty decent amount of carries. He had 133 carries in 8 games. That's a hefty load. He had 3 touchdowns, 3.1 yards per carry, 133 carries, 408 yards, and 3.5 receptions per game. Josh Jacobs in weeks 9 and 10, again, against 2 stout defenses, a pretty good defense in the Giants and a fantastic defense with the Jets. 4 yards per carry, almost an entire a little over 4 yards per carry, almost an entire yard more per carry. He had 53 carries in 2 games. He had only 3 times that in 8 games. 214 yards. That's half as many in 2 games as he had in 8 games.
Mm-hmm.
Now he only had 2 receptions. He only had 1 reception per game. So his passing, he hasn't been as much part of the passing game, which maybe something
doesn't need to be because he
doesn't need to be, but
not checked out as much because Favre's got the ball to the right position.
I mean, he should be because he's such a weapon out of the backfield, but whatever. He's running the ball well. And this is the big thing. Remember last season, it took Josh McDaniels 4 games to do what everyone in Raider Nation knew we should do in 2.
Yeah.
Run the ball. Yeah. Give Josh Jacobs the ball. He's the best part of our offense. Weirdly, last season, our offense was a terrible pass blocking, but started becoming a pretty good run blocking team, right? It's like, it's a no-brainer. Guys, use Josh Jacobs. He's in a contract year. You're planning on getting rid of him anyway. You didn't give him the 5th year. Run him into the ground. And they did. It took Josh McDaniels leaving for him to really become a ball carrier. He had 26 carries against the Giants in week 9, 27 carries against the Jets. That's both the most ever in the season. He never had 26 carries all season, never had 27 carries all season. Now, he's 3rd in rushing, even after a terrible start to the season. Remember maybe the top 3 storylines for the Raiders is what happened to Josh Jacobs. He was the rushing leader last season, and now he can't get over 100 yards. He's only got a tiny handful of touchdowns. What's wrong? Why can't he get going? He's at 622 yards now. He's 3 yards behind Derrick Henry, and Christian McCaffrey's crushing it. But other than Christian McCaffrey, he's
Christian
right
McCaffrey
there.
Also missed the game too.
Right. That's Christian McCaffrey in the Niners, right? He was having an NFL MVP type season, right? So outside of an NFL MVP type season with maybe the best running back in football, with one of the best offensive schemes in football, in a scheme that was designed to get Christian McCaffrey an offensive player of the year type season, Josh Jacobs is basically the best. All because Bo did the no-brainer that we were all screaming about last season. Give Josh Jacobs the rock. You got a rookie quarterback. He doesn't fumble. I mean, last game was a bad example, but that's a rare aberration. He really doesn't fumble. He's a great pass blocker. He's the heart and soul of the team, AP keeps saying. Give the guy the rock. And they've given him the ball 53 times in 2 games. And it's led to 2-0, 23 points per game, and you're taking pressure off your rookie 4th-round quarterback.
You're also controlling the ball, too. You're controlling the time of possession. You're not having your defense out there getting tired, so they're able to play at a high level throughout the entire game. Josh McDaniels wanted to run the ball. It's just he was so stubborn that he wasn't having the success to be able to do it throughout the entire game. Mm-hmm. That's why, Josh Jacobs only had 16.5 carries per game the first 8 games. Mm. Had the run game been working better, he would have had more opportunity. So it's just, again, it was where we're coming back to the same thing. It's the ego of Josh McDaniels to not change should not adjust to say, well, the play is good enough. You just have to run it better and not give yourself an opportunity to tilt the percentages in your favor by design, by formation and personnel grouping. And that's what killed the running game. It wasn't Josh Jacobs not doing well. It was, the defense pretty much knowing what we were doing, calling on our plays.
Yeah, and again, running into loaded boxes because you've got Jimmy G there. All you got to do is take away the center, the middle of the field. And so now, like, having Aiden O'Connell does open, he is more dangerous in places Jimmy G isn't, which helps Josh Jacobs. And like you said, not just adjustments, but it was like a focus. Like we've really only ran, like, the core of it's like 2 different zone runs, which is basically like the core of what we do, and then play action off of it, and then like some jet sweeps and some reverses off of it, right? I mean, that's what you do, right? That's also not just Bo being like, here's a cool play design. It's having the foresight to we're going to do A, B, and C, and that's going to open up D, E, and F. And then, all right, A and B worked, C didn't. So we're going to do G to open up H, I, J. The halftime adjustments against the Jets game where they're like, yeah, they're stout inside. Why are we running right at Quinn Williams? Let's go outside. Let's start running off tackles. Let's do little pop passes out to this, little screens outside, like things like that. Like, hey, let's avoid this awesome, heart of this Jets defense. So it's listening to the players. It's adjusting when needed to, pregame, adjusting mid-game, which we didn't see out of Josh McDaniels.
Yeah, it's complementary play calling is what it is. I think Josh McDaniels just threw plays out there, and then he had a plan, but again, like I keep going back to the same thing, but the whole jet sweep with Tucker, he never faked it once. Mm-hmm. So it's like when you see the action, you know what's happening, right? Mm-hmm. And we've had tons of fakes, and we guys that are moving in that in motion that you would normally see a jet sweep off of, and they ended up either blocking for Josh Jacobs or going out for a pass. So it's just complimentary play calling, man. It's just smart play calling, and it is Josh McDaniels' system. It's his plays, his verbiage, his everything. I think it's I think Coach Bo kind of like lucked into something pretty nice because he had from all accounts, an offensive genius, right? As far as play calling goes, X's and O's, right? Mm-hmm. And Coach Bo seems to be a little bit more Willies and Joes,
not
right?
Play calling, play design.
Play design. Play design. Yeah. So Josh, you take Josh McDaniels' play design, his X's and O's, and you take Coach Bo's Willies and Joes, right? Like how he connects with the people and the players, and the players make plays. The guys have said it after the last few games: is the players make plays. Focus on the players, not on the plays. And it's plain as day, man. They're saying it without saying it.
Bo Hardegree is like the stereotypical looking offensive coordinator. Young, kind of like nerdy and like scruffy, quiet. You know what I mean? Not like he's not going to charm you or even like motivate you. Looks like he doesn't do his hair in the morning. He's like,
he shave his head. Did he shave head shaved?
Does he?
I think so.
Maybe it's one of those shaves where he's got like a big cowlick and like he doesn't like line up like the sides and stuff. He just like does it himself. You know what I mean? Like every other week. Looks like one of the. You know what I'm saying though? He just like feels like he just looks and smells like an offensive coordinator in 2023. Young dude, scruffy, and it's 2-0.
It's working.
And the number 3 thing, and it's what's affecting the defense, special team, morale, offense, everything. I think it's also just the Antonio Pierce factor. I think we can't ignore what's been the primary storyline of him coming around. Is everyone's happy, everyone's juiced. And we're talking about how Bo is taking advice from the players. That comes from the top, right? That was AP's not prerogative, but
directive.
It was his. Yeah, exactly. That was the executive order from the top. Is we're going to listen to you guys. We're going to be a players type coaching staff, and that's how we get the best out of you guys. Which is the way to go when you've got superstars, right? If it was if we didn't have Davante, Jacobs, Maxx, Jacoby, like veteran Colton, like veteran good guys, and it was super young, maybe you got to put your thumb on them a little bit more, right? Maybe you got to be like, look, y'all haven't earned your stripes. We'll listen, but we're in charge. When you've got Davante, Maxx, Josh, etc., you're like, all right, guys, like, what do you think? Davante, you've been part of some of the best offenses in football. What worked, what didn't? Josh, you single-handedly became the last season's rushing leader with 900 yards after contact. It wasn't my schemes that got you there. It was you. You tell me how we can help. Hey, you made it to the end of our video. Great job. I know you want more. Go ahead and click the next video. And if you're feeling crazy, go ahead and subscribe.